In this video, we'll pick up where we left off on the bottom of page 113, and we'll look at frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is a way of looking at a large set of data that would otherwise be hard to analyze or look at. So we'll just look at the example to see how it works. So here we've got a lot of information from a welding project, and it tells us to use intervals with a width of 14 percentage points beginning at 41%. So the way this works is we'll start at 41%, and we'll take 41 plus 14, and that gives us to 55%. Okay. Then in the next line, we'll start at the next number. We'll start at 56%, and we'll add 14 to it, and we'll get 70%. Next line, we'll start at the next number. We'll get 71%. We'll add 14 to that and get 85%. And then we'll start with the next number, 86%. If we add 14 to that, we get 100%. So the idea is that we just go through the numbers and write tallies beside where it ends up. So here 81 would be in this group, 75 would be in this group, 93 would be in the bottom group, 74 would be in the third group, 56 would be in the second group, 56 would be in the second group, 87 would be in the third group, 93 would be in the bottom group, 75 would be in the third group. And I just want to make a point here. We have 4 marks already there, so when we put that mark, that 5th mark in, we're going to use it as a cross so that our eye can see that group of 5 easily in the end. So we'll continue on, and I'm just going to do this rather quickly. You may want to pause the video and do it yourself to make sure we get the same numbers. I underline as I go so that I keep track of where I am. So once we get it tallied, then we need to count up the number of marks we have to put into frequency. So this is 5 and 1 more is 6. 5 and 5 is 10. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. And 6 for the bottom. And that's our frequency distribution. So now let's talk about how we use this. This gives us steps for finding the mean of grouped data. So we'll talk through those as we go in this example. So example 6, we want to use the data that we got from example 5. So let me take a minute and copy that into the chart. You'll notice that we have an extra line on this, and in your paper it's a little bit bolder so that you can see, but this was what we'll use for our totals. So the first step after we've got our frequency chart is to find the midpoint of the intervals, and we do that by finding the mean of the end points. So for the first interval, we take 41 plus 55 and then divide by 2. For the second interval, we take 56 plus 70 and then divide by 2. The next one we do 71 plus 85 and then divide by 2. And then 86 plus 100 and then divide by 2. So I'm going to pause the video and find those numbers. When we do that, we get 48 and then 63 and then 78 and then 93. So the next step is that we're going to multiply the frequency times the midpoint. So we'll do 6 times 8, 48. And then we'll do 10 times 63. And then we'll do 18 times 78. And then we'll do 6 times 93. And we're going to put those answers under the product column. Again, I'm going to pause the video. So we should get 288, and then 630, and then 1404, and then 558. So step 4, right above this, tells us to find the sum of the frequencies and write it below the frequency. So the idea here now is that we're going to add up this column and then write it below it. If we add those up, we get 40. And we're going to do the same thing, this is step 5, for the products. And that gives us 2880. So the last step is that we take this product, 2880, and we divide by the total of the frequencies, the 40. And when we do that, we get 72. So 72 is our mean for this group of data.